Disappointing and full of bugs. A worst game in the series. Enjoyed the game but so buggy. Avoid this. These are just a couple reviews about Assassin's Creed Liberation. Released in 2012 for PS Vita, it was an instant flop, picked apart by critics. But why did it fail so badly? Today I'm gonna try to answer that by playing the game myself to fully understand why it's such a failure. Disclaimer, I played the remastered version released in 2019, and there's story spoilers incoming. Reason number 1. Story. Game starts with an intro, Liberation HD, which I really find funny. The HD in the title stands almost as a flex, like, look guys, you can play this game in HD, wow! The story itself starts randomly, with little to no explanation. We begin with Aveline trying to catch a chicken until a guy kicks it like a damn football. Then somehow her mother forgets that she even has a daughter and leaves without her. How? Where's the logic in that? What mother would leave her child, walk away like nothing happened, and not notice that the child is gone? Then all of a sudden, we skip many years later, and she's an assassin without any backstory. And that's pretty much how everything goes. Story is so hard to understand that in between sequences in the loading screen, there's explanation text about the story. It's sad to see this, when the first woman assassin as the main character in the series has no character at all, and the development of that during the story is extremely poor. There is no piece of Eden in the game also. There's an artifact of some sorts, but again, no explanation about it at all. And the whole story seems like a side mission story you would see in Assassin's Creed game. For example, Da Vinci's disappearance or Galileo missions in Brotherhood. There's really no main villain. Aveline is always killing random new villains, trying to search for something bigger of a villain. Eventually, after more than half the game, she meets her mother, and the story started making somewhat a bit more sense. At least my questions, which I had at the beginning of the game about her leaving, were answered. We continue killing and killing, and in the end, we kill her stepmom, who was the main villain. But the main villain doesn't feel like a true main villain, because there's no backstory, there's no character development, so basically there's no hype killing her. And that's pretty much the whole story, which you can easily complete in 5 hours. Reason number 2, gameplay. The gameplay is not the best either. Cutscenes are static, there's no moving, same camera angles all the time, looks something like GTA San Andreas or Assassin's Creed 2. The cutscene jumps are also from Assassin's Creed 2, and they definitely might cause you problems if you have epilepsy. Before playing the game, I thought that it's all based on Assassin's Creed 3 engine, but clearly it was Assassin's Creed 2 from 2009. The in-game music sounds either too epic, like I'm about to fight the boss when literally nothing is happening, or it's Animal Crossing music playing. Music doesn't change during the cutscenes or missions, it always stays the same no matter what, and when it changes, it's a random cut without any fade in or fade out. In some places, the soundtrack makes no sense. For example, in the bayou, the music sounds like the music you would hear when you're in the Amazon jungle. But it's the bayou. The only thing having any resemblance to the jungle are the trees and the swamps. The interaction points look something like from SpongeBob SquarePants, or like the filters old people put on their Facebook profile pictures. Whistling sound is still the same from Assassin's Creed 2, and it doesn't sound at all like a woman's whistle. The map looks like a beta version of Assassin's Creed 4, which would make some sense, since the game was released only 1 year before Black Flag. In some places the visual graphics look pretty good, in some places they don't. Again, seems like a beta version with very poor development. The game feels like it was done very fast and with very little testing, because the amount of bugs or random moments that you see is insane.
No time to lose.
Of course. But not too strict, I hope.
The game doesn't have a currency. It's just called money. Though in the shops you can't see the name of it, but everywhere else it's called money. Positive thing about the gameplay is that you can do underwater diving, and there's actual underwater to explore in Mexico for a bit. Although in one mission there are these tripwires, which one time I definitely didn't touch, but it got me damage. Other time I did touch it, but there was no damage. Reason number 3, bad timing. The game was overshadowed by Assassin's Creed 3, which was released the same day as Liberation. The expectations for a PS Vita game were too high, though even the remade and remastered versions, which were supposed to, quote, operate in 4K HDR enhanced visuals, and include several improvements such as a new graphics engine using physics-based lighting, new character models, and heavily revamped gameplay mechanics. I think even the remastered version was done badly. It doesn't feel like any improvement at all. This has to do a lot with developers. The game was produced only by 2 studios, Ubisoft Sofia and Ubisoft Milan. According to the internet, in these 2 studios work from 250 to 700 employees. Ubisoft has more than 20,000 employees worldwide. So this is around 1.25 to 3.5% of overall employees. This was a very small project, but done by a very small group of developers. So to answer the question why it failed, I think it was overhyped. Everyone expected it to be like Assassin's Creed 3, but it was basically an Assassin's Creed 2 spin-off, just in Assassin's Creed 3 time zone. I think this game would have been a decent spin-off game to come with Assassin's Creed 2 back in 2009. Anyway, thank you for watching this video and see you next time.